Hi, welcome to Primetime Pickleball, and in this video we're going to go over the top 10 basic technique mistakes that we see many players making. But before that, why don't you go ahead and click that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and also click that bell icon so that you can be notified anytime we release a new video. Without any further ado, let's jump right in. We're going to start off with technical mistake number one, and that is dinking with your paddle head directly down and straight down. And what I mean by that is having a straight wrist. As you can see, I'm dinking like this. If you are new to pickleball and you have been taught this way, this is I would not suggest this way and dink this way, because there's a lot of problems with this. Okay, so I'm talking about the straight wrist. As you can see here, the paddle head is pointed straight to the floor. Instead of that, we want to be in a laid back wrist position like this. So this would be a forehand and this would be a backhand, just like that. Okay, if you are doing it this way, this straight wrist, you might have some control in the beginning, but what you're going to notice is as you get better, if you want to put different spins on it, like underspin and topspin, it's going to be very, very difficult to put different spins on the ball as you become a better player without having this laid back wrist. And also with the straight wrist, as you can see, if I'm dinking like this, this paddle face is really exposed and it's really angled up, and you can get a lot of pop-ups that way. You can see in that example, it's already hard to get that ball down because the straight wrist, your paddle is, this angle is so angled up, it's very easy to pop up the ball. All right, so now I'm gonna show you this laid back wrist, just like this, and on the forehand and the backhand. So when I hit my forehand, just looks just like that, all right? And then when I hit a backhand, it's just like this on that side. All right, so the second mistake that we see lots of players making is that they are flicking their wrists and really moving their paddle face a lot before, during, and after contact. When you hit the ball in the game of pickleball, you want to have a stable paddle face so that you can have the most control. You don't want to use a lot of wrist, and that paddle angle, that paddle face, you want it to be stable so that you have the most control and you're accurately hitting your shot. All right, so let's move on to the third technical mistake, and this is hitting a backhand volley with your forehand. Okay, and I see a lot of players, especially beginner players, doing this, and this is what it looks like. All right, so as you can see, that is a very awkward spot to hit your volley, especially if you're going to be in this ready position, hitting volleys over here on your forehand side, which should be your forehand, and then it comes here to your left side, and instead of hitting it as a normal volley, you're doing this windshield wiper thing, and you're hitting it here. As you can see, it really gets your paddle out of position. If you're hitting a ball like this, and then the next ball comes down right here, it's going to be really tough to defend the next shot, okay? And also, it really is just it's a big underdevelopment of your backhand.
Also, it's going to be impossible to hit a ball that comes here with your forehand, or any ball that comes in this area.
So if you find yourself doing this, you're hitting volleys here, and then you're coming here like this, with balls hit onto your backhand side, I really urge you to develop this backhand, a textbook backhand, instead of having this kind of grip here. So I'm going to be volleying here, okay, and then here. So I'm not here and coming over. I have my forehand on this side, and then when I just turn my paddle over here, I have my backhand. All right, so now let's move on to mistake number 4, which is having too much movement in your stroke. Okay, so specifically I'm talking about your backswing and then your follow through. Now in the game of pickleball, you're really close and the ball could come to you really fast, so we want to make sure that we are keeping our strokes compact and pretty short, so that we're ready for the next ball and we're in position to cover that next shot. All right, so we don't want to take our paddle way back here and take this huge swings, unless, you know, I'm not talking about swinging volleys when you're hitting an attacking ball. I'm talking about just hitting regular balls, either volleys or third shots, and even dinks. We want to make sure that we have a very short backswing, hit that ball, and a short follow through, so that we don't have any extra movement that we don't need. I'm not having a huge backswing or follow through. As soon as I hit that ball, I'm pretty much back into ready position. All right, so now let's jump into the 5th mistake, and the 5th mistake is having an inconsistent contact point. Okay, so what we mean by that, the contact point, when your paddle is actually hitting the ball, it's very inconsistent relative to your body. Sometimes it's way out in front, sometimes it is really close to your body. We're gonna have the most control when we are hitting the ball right in front of us and not stretched out and not jammed up, okay? Right in front of us in this optimal contact zone. So this optimal zone is a very comfortable zone out in front of us, whether we're hitting a forehand or a backhand, and it's in a comfortable range. We're not stretching and reaching, okay? And we're not super close to our body, which we're going to lose control, either stretching or jammed up. So we want to be really make sure that we are contacting that ball almost in the same spot, that same zone, every single time. And what you're going to do to do that is you have to move your feet. Okay, so if that ball is coming a little bit deeper, make sure you back up, and then you're hitting that ball in that optimal contact zone. And then if that ball is short, you want to make sure that you come up to that ball and that you're hitting it very comfortably right in front of you. So as you can see, I'm moving my feet, trying to make sure I'm hitting in that optimal contact zone right in front of me. That was a little short. I'm gonna try it again. Right there, that was a good, comfortable zone. I had to take a step back there. Okay, here we go. It's right in front of me, good. There, good. That one was tough. Just take a step back or maybe take a step in to volley it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. See, sometimes instead of backing up, it's easier just to take it out of the air to volley. Okay, so now moving on to the sixth mistake that we see a lot of players making, and this is specifically on the forehand side, is having a late contact. Okay, so on either a third shot, but on especially ground strokes or returns, maybe a ground stroke, drive return, or a slice return, we see a lot of players making the contact like right around here, maybe a little bit behind, or even right here on the side of their body. Okay, and what this does is when you hit the ball like this, you have a straight wrist, and you really want to get this contact moved up in front of you. And if you hit it, if I have this straight wrist like this, okay, if I hit this ball out in front of me, you can see my paddle face is faced to the left now, the left side of the court. What we want to do is to move that contact point out in front of us, which is going to give us the most power and the most control. What we want to do is we're going to have to lay back this wrist. I don't know if you can see that. This is with my wrist straight, okay? If I want to get that contact point out in front and I'm hitting this, let's say I'm hitting a return here, this paddle face is now faced to the left of the court if I have my wrist straight. If I lay it back here, it's a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning, but this is something I also had to work on, is moving my contact point out in front. You'll see the best players in the world, that their contact point is pretty far out in front of them. It's like right around here. And the only way to do that is to get this laid back wrist hitting through the ball out in front. Okay, you're gonna have the most control and the most power doing this that way. All right, so technical mistake number 7 that we see a lot of players make, and this goes for like returning and mainly for returning and ground strokes, is that they have almost no or non-existent shoulder turn. Okay, so as you can see, the camera is facing this way, and as they're hitting their ground stroke, they're not even turning at all. They're just using their wrist and their arm to hit a ground stroke return on their forehand and backhand side. So you're losing power, and you're not going to maximize that power and control that you would have if you turn your shoulders. And as you can see, as I turn my shoulders, naturally my feet want to get in this closed stance. So instead of just hitting balls like this, all right, using my wrist and my arm, I'm getting my shoulder turn, and now as you can see, I'm engaging my other muscles. I'm getting low here, and then as I hit my shot, my shoulder turn is actually turning back. Okay, so I'm open here, my chest is facing the net, I'm closing, I'm getting that shoulder turn, getting that power, and then as I hit that shot, my shoulders open, my chest open up to the court again. All right, so number 8, which is a big technique mistake that we see lots of players doing and have, is a very tight tension in their arm. It's like almost a death grip maybe on their grip, and also you can see they're flexing their arm when they're hitting the forehand or return, and you could kind of tell because their backswing and then to their follow through is very jerky, and you can tell it's not relaxed at all. To get that power and to use that kinetic chain, to use all your muscles together to get that good ground stroke or that good return, you really want to have a very loose stroke. Even the best players, you can watch them as they hit their ground strokes, they look like they're hitting the ball so hard, but what they're doing is they're using their legs, they're using their momentum, and their stroke is very loose, and you can tell that they're not very tense and hitting the ball with all their muscles in their arm and their wrist super clenched, okay? You want to be really relaxed and really loose, and we'll show a side by side of that right now. All right, so number 9 also has to do with mainly ground strokes and returning the ball, and that is the weight transfer. I'll see a lot of people, they see that return coming, and what they're gonna do is they kind of just plant their feet here like this. You can see their leg is straight, and they don't bend their legs, and they just swat at the ball, and then they come up for their return. They swat it and come here. Even for the backhand, they stand here, swat it, and then come up for the return. You really want to bend your knees and plant your weight on that back foot. So if I'm hitting a forehand return, I'm here. You can see my weight's on my back leg, and then as I move through that ball, as I hit that ball, my weight is transferring from the back to the front, and then my momentum is already going forward because of that. So it's a lot easier to get up to the non-volley zone after return. Same thing, even if I'm hitting a slice return, as you can see, I start right here, the weight on my back foot, and then I'm coming in. Okay, same thing goes on the backhand. Okay, right here, my weight is now on my left leg in the back, and then as I hit that slice return, I'm coming in. My momentum and my weight transfer is helping that ball go over. All right, so the 10th and final, last but not least, mistake that we see lots of players make is that they do not split step when they are making their transition from the baseline to the non-volley zone. You'll see a lot of players just kind of walk up and their knees aren't bent, and they're not making any split step or dynamic hop so that they can be ready for any ball that comes their way. They're kind of just walking in. All right, so instead of just walking in and being right here after you hit your shot, just standing here being flat-footed, all a split step is, to put it simply, is a dynamic kind of hop, okay? You don't have to, it's not a jump. Okay, after I hit that ball, I'm just getting into position just like that. It could be as small as that, and then my weight is actually on the balls of my feet, so that I can be ready to move to the left or to the right or up or back, okay? Because if I hit that ball and I'm just walking in like this, and my my weight's on my heels, it's going to be really hard for me to take off if I need to run for a ball, or if they're gonna hit a nice down the line shot or pull me to the left, okay? So what I wanna do, I hit that shot, as you can see, just I'm gonna be with my momentum going forward. My weight is on the balls of my feet, and then I'm getting ready for that shot, hit it again. And every time, right before they hit the ball, I gotta be already, you know, already initiating my split step so that I can be ready to hit the next one, okay? So it's gonna look like this again. I'm gonna hit, get as far as I can, okay? I'm looking at that shot, and then right before he hits, I'm gonna get ready to stop. I'm gonna initiate my split step so that I can be ready to go and hit my next shot, and then I'm coming in all the way up. Okay, and sometimes I'm gonna hit a bad shot and I don't have to keep trying to proceed up to the line. I might just split step and just stay here, play defense until I get a neutral ball, and then I'm gonna come in. Okay, hit it, make sure I'm stopped. Okay, split step here. Okay, then I'm in. Okay, let's do it one more time. Back, hitting my third. And get up as far as I can. That's the split step, making sure that you're on the balls of your feet and your weight is forward so that you're not flat-footed, so you can be ready to move and get to any ball. All right, so hopefully you really enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about it, go ahead and leave a comment below. And also, if you are not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell icon so that you can be notified every time we release a new video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like.
Thanks so much for watching. For more free video lessons, please visit primetimepickleball.com. But before you head on over there, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Also, for Primetime Pickleball shirts like this and other great apparel, please visit ptpgear.com.